The president of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, and the Kazakh government held an extended session to conclude the 2018 social and economic results. According to the president, the country's performance last year has been impressive. He noted that the state programs aimed at improving the well-being of citizens could kickstart due to the country's positive economic growth.
Жалпы мен айтар едім 2018 жылда көрсеткіштері экономиканың барлық саласында жақсы көрсеткіштер болды деп айтуға болады.
The indicators for 2018 have shown good results. The economic growth was recorded in almost all of the industries, which was why we had the opportunity to improve the people's social well-being. The Kazakh economy grew by 4%. Most of the revenue was derived from the non-resource-based sectors, which recorded 75% of growth. As we planned, the inflation rate was at 5.3%, which is a good indicator of the purchasing power. Capital investments grew by 17%, which is also a positive result.
Негізгі капиталға инвестициялар 17%-тен жоғары, бұл да жақсы көрсеткіш деп айтуға болады.
Kazakh Deputy Prime Minister Yerbolat Dosayev in his report highlighted that the Kazakh economy showed stable development in 2018. The focus is on execution of the 5 social initiatives and the State of the Nation address. He also highlighted that at the beginning of 2019, assets of the National Fund amounted to over $61 billion. Based on last year's economic growth, the household income has seen an increase and recorded at 4.4%. The 5 social initiatives announced by the president in March 2018 gave a new impetus to the improvement of quality of life and well-being of our citizens. At the government meeting, it was also noted that loans will be given to priority projects in the non-resource sectors of the economy in February. An additional of 600 billion tenge will be allocated for the fund. Astana will become the center of Eurasian continent based on the views by international experts. They highlighted that the city has a strategic importance in expanding trade and economic ties between the East and West. A World Trade Center is planned to be built in the capital on a 2-hectare land. It will be 150 meters high. The ambitious project is worth $200 million. The complex will be built using foreign investments. Other World Trade Centers are located in New York, Amsterdam, Tokyo, Seoul, and Dubai, and all of the complexes are linked by one network.
We see the site as being a significant and important site for the city. It's obviously an extension of what we call the spine that comes from the city centre moving out towards the airport. And we see a landmark building going on to that site, which will be, I suppose, the next significant opportunity for Astana to build a new building that's going to be a world-class opportunity, showcasing architecture and buildings and Astana to the world.
The agreement on the construction of the World Trade Center was made during President Nursultan Nazarbayev's visit to Belgium. The Kazakh government also plans to build a number of architectural facilities in Astana, such as the Eurasian Center building that will be shaped as the headwear of Scythian warrior. The construction works will begin by end 2019. Kazakh car manufacturers are set to expand their export markets. The local car producers are planning to sell their vehicles to Uzbekistan in the next couple of years. They are currently exporting their outputs to China, Russia, Belarus, and Tajikistan. Experts believe that some measures, such as pre-export insurance and government subsidies, are needed to be introduced in order to develop the export activities. The measures will also allow the local companies to be more competitive globally.
Основные динамические показатели у нас были в конце 2017 и в начале 2018 года.
Kazakh automotive industry demonstrated good results in late 2017 and early 2018 when our company sold more than 2,000 cars. Kazakh car manufacturers are currently researching new markets to export their cars. Factors such as established partnerships between the countries and solid foreign marketing strategy of the companies are the main contributors to higher export values. Kazakh automotive producers are provided with all the tools and opportunities to manufacture and sell cars in both the domestic and foreign markets.
И реализовывать его как и на внутреннем рынке, так же и на внешнем рынке.
Kazakh automotive producers manufactured 32,300 vehicles in 2018, including cars, trucks, buses, special vehicles, trailers, and semi-trailers. The total cost of the output produced totaled 205.95 billion tenge. Central Asia's largest solar power plant was constructed in Karagandi region. The amount of investments totaled $140 million. Investors were interested in implementing the project in Saran city due to its beneficial climatic conditions. The solar panels, located on a total area of 164 hectares, are capable of producing 100 megawatts of power per year. Experts say that this amount is enough to provide electricity to 10 cities such as Saran, with the population of more than 50,000 residents. 307,000 solar panels and 20 additional solar substations were installed at the site with a guarantee period of 40 years. All operations are automated. Yesterday, the plant generated 49 megawatts of power. The energy yield varies from day to day. It depends on the weather conditions. Sometimes we produce large amounts of electricity in gloomy days. Based on our estimates, we are expecting high profitability. By 2023, the Kazakh government is set to implement more than 30 renewable energy projects with a capacity of 3,000 megawatts of electricity per year.
Қаңтар айына биыл Қазақстанымызда 67 баламалы энергетика.
As of January 2019, there are 67 renewable energy stations built in Kazakhstan. Currently, the total capacity of these facilities is 510 megawatts. We expect that the capacity will be doubled by the end of 2019.
Екі есе осы қуаттылығы екі есе өседі деп күтілуде.
4 large alternative energy projects will be implemented in Karagandi region this year. The local authorities signed a bilateral agreement with investors to implement the projects. Foreign companies are ready to invest $500 million in the development of green technologies in the region. Kazakhstan has the potential to become a leader in the green economy sector in Central Asia. The country's capital is one of the most energy efficient in the region, said experts of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. However, the country needs to create a number of strategic measures to develop the industry.
It has a unique opportunity to plan the urban infrastructure in such a way that that growth is done in a sustainable way. That includes green buildings, but it also includes looking at all of the resources that come in and out of cities and affect infrastructure. Issues like transport options, issues of water efficiency, issues of recreation and open space. So there's an integrated urban planning approach that can be applied here because you're at the beginnings of that transition to an urban society.
Experts and representatives of the Pacific and Central Asian countries held a roundtable on the sustainable development of urban infrastructure in Kazakhstan. The meeting was organized in Astana under the auspices of the International Center for Development of Green Technologies and Investment Projects, UNDP, and SCAP.
Казахстан и СКАТО работают очень тесно. С 2010 году очень много инициатив были приняты от стороны.
Kazakhstan and SCAP have been working very closely since 2010. Kazakhstan has taken many initiatives which the SCAP supports. The programs that you have invested in have helped the Pacific region very much. The biogas installations have been introduced in more than 15 countries. Central Asia has a very good opportunity to improve its energy and resource efficiency in urban planning.
Хорошая возможность сейчас улучшить свою энергоэффективность и эффективность использования ресурсов в градоустройственных планах.
Specialists highlight that the introduction of green projects in Kazakhstan is ongoing with the support of the United Nations in Kazakhstan. With the help of the United Nations, 67 projects were launched last year in Kazakhstan with a total investment of 12 billion tenge. Experts highlight that the majority of these projects are located in Astana.
Мы поддержали проекты, которые направлены на установку новых энергосберегающих насосных станций. Мы поддержали проекты, много проектов, которые предполагают замену...
We have supported projects that aim to install new energy-efficient pumping stations. We have supported many projects that involve the replacement of boilers and the boiler equipment, which would increase the efficiency of boilers and save energy. There were projects that involved the installation of solar hot water generators, which will reduce the load of the centralized heating system. In addition, there were also projects that involved the installation of photovoltaic in order to produce energy from solar panels, which will lower the burden of conventional energy.
Фотовольтажа, чтобы производить электроэнергию из солнечных батарей и тем самым, опять же, снизить нагрузку на традиционную энергетику.
Experts are confident that the implementation of the projects is very relevant as the approaches used would reduce greenhouse gas emissions and lead to the improvement of life quality, especially in the large metropolitan cities. Astana is the political, cultural and business center of Kazakhstan. The small and medium-sized enterprises or SME industry in the capital is developing. Last year, 1.53 trillion tenge have been invested in the city. 71% of the fund was from private investments. In the first 9 months of last year, the SME industry made up 61% of the city's economy. The record is higher comparing to the same period in 2017. President of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, has set a target of increasing the share of small and medium-sized businesses in the GDP to 50% by 2015. Astana is the first city in Kazakhstan to achieve the goal before deadline. The records are a clear example that Astana is not only a city for civil servants, but is also the city for business. Last year alone, 13,000 new business entities were opened. The production output increased by 22% last year, which amounted to 3.5 trillion tenge, and this is only between January and September 2018.
Это тоже очень существенно. И составляет 3,5 триллиона тенге.
Almaty has the potential to become a center of modern tourism in Kazakhstan. According to statistics, every fifth tourist who has arrived in Kazakhstan visits the city. The numbers indicate that tourist interest in Almaty is increasing worldwide. Local authorities, tour operators and public organizations have done a lot to improve the city's tourism potential. A tourist hub was opened at the end of last year.
Для этого и открыт туристский хаб, так что каждый горожанин, неравнодушный к нашему городу, может прийти, предложить свои...
The tourist hub was opened to welcome citizens who want to offer his or her ideas and projects. We are happy to listen to them and continue to implement their ideas. Our nature provides ecological tourism. The Almaty region has 5 national parks, starting from the Altyn Yemel Desert to the 7,000-meter-high Khan Tengri Mountain. After arrival, tourists in Almaty can visit the desert and the Kolsai lakes within 3 hours.
В Алматы в 3-часовой доступности турист может посетить и пустыню, и Кольсайские озера.
A working group will focus on developing the tourist attractiveness of Almaty. Members of the group viewed that the city needs a new branding for tourism.
В метро на нескольких станциях будут установлены такие стенды.
At several metro station stands, there will be advertisements showcasing interesting places in the city based on the suggestions by the locals. These are not just advertising booklets, since the advertisements will be based on personal history of the locations. The world's 30 best-selling books will be available in Kazakh language. The books will be available on the Open University of Kazakhstan online platform. In total, 100 publications will be translated. These are the world's best textbooks on philosophy, management, innovation, sociology, psychology, economics, and other subjects. The project is implemented as part of the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity program.
Бұл кітаптардың саны 30, алғашқы лектен көрі
These 30 books are very interesting. We are translating more books this year compared to the previous years. The staff of the National Translation Bureau worked on this project. This is a very hard and responsible work. The quality of the translation is very high. The work should be completed by spring of this year. Online lectures by leading scientists worldwide will also be available online. The project will be supported by the specialists of the Open University in the UK. Experts say that the online platform will be interesting not only for college and university students, but also for those who are working as well.
Допустим, я имею диплом, я работаю, в какой-то сфере, но появляется...
Suppose I have a diploma and I work in a particular area, but I want to study a new area or I want to improve my professional qualifications. I can register on the global platform or on the university's website and take an online course. In the IT sector, this is very important because it is impossible to retrain specialists every 5 years. Everyone can improve their skills by themselves and there are various courses available.
Плюс смотрит различные, их очень много, курсы.
The main goal of the project is to develop affordable online education in the Kazakh language. Kazakh musicians are set to create a collection of the ancient music of the Great Steppe. The professional musicians will compile the anthology of the steppe folklore, which will include selected folklore items. In his 7 Facets of the Great Steppe article, President Nazarbayev instructed to create a collection of significant music compositions played on traditional Kazakh instruments, such as the kobis, dombra, sibizge, sasirnay, and others. The works should be available in contemporary digital formats and promoted among the modern generation.
Елбасының өзінің тікелей айтуына байланысты біздің қазақтың ұлттық фольклор.
After the president's instruction of creating an anthology of the Kazakh traditional folklore, we are set to put together the branches of the folklore and create a comprehensive anthology of the millennia-old Kazakh music art. Each music composition will be accompanied by its lyrics and legends surrounding it.
Соған лайық айтылған сөзі, аңызы, шежіресі болуға тиісті.
Тауға да біткен қайыңның солғылдар басай, жел өтсе тоғайға біткен жоңышқа солғын тор күн өтсе.
A new version of Nurim Jiraus's music composition was performed by Kazakh singer Kidirali Bolmanov at the Voice of Asia Music Festival.
Оны стадионға шығару үшін біз камералық аспапты стадиондық аспап қылуымыз керек. Қалай?
Using additional music instruments when playing the Kazakh traditional compositions is a way to make them appealing for contemporary audiences. President Nazarbayev instructed to rework traditional compositions to modernize and promote them.
Жаңа заманауи қылу, ол қазіргі заманның барабанын алып қосу оған. Сөйтіп стадионға бүйтіп ақырындап апару да, былайша айтқанда.
Asilbek Yensepov is a Kazakh dombra player who put together the dombra art and the popular music. In 1997, his father, Jassaral Yensepov, created the Deco style.
97 жылы осы эстрадамен кішкене домбраны қосқан болды.
In 1997, we brought dombra onto the stage since we wanted to make the dombra interesting for young people. They were kept away from the dombra. Then we came into conclusion that not only Kazakhs should play the dombra, but also representatives of other nations. The dombra should be listed as one of the world's instruments.
Келдік, сөйтіп гүлдендіріп беру керек деген ой туындағаннан кейін соны жасадық.
It's been 5 years since the Kazakh dombra joined the UNESCO World Heritage List. A Dombra Day has been created in order to honor the brand of Kazakh identity. The holiday is celebrated every year on the first Sunday of July. Akirke Tajibayeva surprised the Turkish audience with her play on kobis. On the world stage, Akirke revived tragic music sound of an instrument echoing from ancient times of Kazakh's ancestor Korki.
Бізде музыка саласында, музыкалық өңдеу саласында мамандар жеткілікті. Және өте тәжірибелі мамандар.
They are professionals in music and music production. They are very experienced professionals. There is a well-established culture of local symphony and choreography in Kazakhstan. However, there are some gaps to fulfill, which is digital transformation. In this area, we should have foreign innovative music models in our work.
Цифрландыру, digital. Бұл салада шетелдік инновациялық үлгілерді сөз жоқ, біз өзіміздің осы жұмысымызға қатыстыруымыз керек.
Music professionals promote and popularize Kazakh folk instruments in their own way. This process will take a qualitative impetus following the article of President Nazarbayev.